If you've been married for 15 years and your husband decides he doesn't want to be married anymore,
take your time, it's okay.
How do you handle that?
Ooh, 15 years.
Now
he wants a divorce.
There's no cheating, there's no infidelity. He just wants a divorce.
Kim, we might run over him, huh?
What you want to do?
Obviously, it's something going on.
Maybe Kim might run over him on that one.
Yeah, he got to be the cheated. Something is going on somewhere in their relationship. He's not in love anymore.
Not in love
Not
anymore.
in love. You're not attracted to the person sexually. It's something definitely going on. So you're not going to just ask for a person for a divorce if there's nothing there. So there's definitely something there. But I would say
it took him 15 years. Like 1, 2, 10, 15 years to realize that he wants to divorce. Women, it's high time we know this. Men do not marry the love of their life. They marry who is available when they are ready to settle down. So it doesn't matter how much you take care of him. It doesn't matter how much you cook, clean. It doesn't matter all the effort, the extra miles you go for him. He will appreciate it and still take you for granted. A man will stay around the woman he's in a relationship with for as long as possible till he finds the woman he truly desires, and then he will leave the woman who has been laboring for him for this new one that he has always wanted.
If you've been married for 15 years and your husband decides he doesn't want to be married anymore,
take your time, it's okay.
how do you handle that?
Ooh,
15
years.
Now
he wants a divorce.
There's no cheating, there's no infidelity. He just wants a divorce.
Kim, we might run over him, huh?
What you want to do?
obviously, it's something going on.
Maybe Kim might run over him on that one.
Yeah, he got to be the cheated. Something is going on somewhere in their relationship. He's not in love anymore.
Not in love
Not
anymore.
in love. You're not attracted to the person sexually. It's something definitely going on. So you're not going to just ask for a person for a divorce if there's nothing there. So there's definitely something there. But I would say give it to him, because I'm not going to make your ass love me and you don't love me. I'm going to go through my damn heartbreak and my depression, whatever I got to do that. Because I feel like when you married that long as a death, I'm going to go through my damn death.
That's right.
Pray, meditate, do what I got to do to get over your ass, because I'm not begging no damn body to be with me.
I'm gonna tell you like my aunt told me. She said, if I'm not your priority, I will not be your option.
Come on now.
So, lady,
But say
if you're not your priority, don't be his option. If you're in a situation, he said he want to go,
let him get it.
because if you make him stay by saying I'm not going to do it, you know what you're going to end up creating? A situation that's toxic.
Very toxic, a doormat.
And now he's going to either abuse you emotionally, financially,
Come on now.
Spiritually and
mentally. But here's the one thing that you're going to end up doing. You're going to find ways to cause pain to him. Because now you're saying you're here just because I made you, not because you wanted me.
That's
so
right.
now you're going to flip the script, and now you're going to become the terrorist in the relationship.
Come on, man.
So I would say, pack his bags, sign the papers, let him out.
Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Vicardi again. Today's video is another interesting one that will brighten your day. So watch to the end and drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep the conversations going.
Oh, you gotta watch this.
My brother just married a woman he's only known for 7 months. Congratulations to my brother, and I love him, right? But this is the twist. He was with a woman for 10 years. Everything she asked my brothers to do, he is doing for this woman that he has only known for 7 months. Bottom line, bro, I love you if you're watching this, but I had to share it. Stop begging these men to do things you need to be done.
Wow. 7 months after a decade-long relationship. Can you believe that? It really makes you think, what drives people to commit? Is it the time they spend together or more?
Because he is not going to change for you. He will never be the man you need him to be, because you are not the woman that he wants to be with. People change for who they want to change for. Stop preaching and start waiting patiently for your husband.
That's a valid point. It's not about the quick marriage, but the fact that he did not want to marry the woman that he was with for 10 Years. What do you think? Why would someone stay without taking that plunge?
Hey y'all, so my brother is a little upset that I posted the video, but he did give me his why, so here it is. His why for marrying the woman that he's only been with for 7 months and never marrying his ex of 10 years was because she never left. He says that he unconsciously never became the best version of himself because the woman that he was in love with at the time was okay with who he was in his eyes. As far as he believed, she loved him no matter what, so there's no need for me to rush and change. I don't know what I need to really change. She's just fussing. He says that he never really understood that there was a change that needed to be had until he left her and he dated a few women and they weren't tolerating what he was putting his ex through. So with that, he met his now wife that he's only known for 7 months and he was ready. Don't attack me, y'all. I'm just sharing the message. It happens, and honestly, it is valid. A lot of the time, we accept a man not giving us what we really deserve, and for that reason, they lose respect for us, and they end up being with another woman and giving that woman everything that we begged him for. So that's the whole purpose of that video that I just posted. Don't beg.
This is really eye-opening. He stayed out of convenience. He stayed because she wouldn't leave, not because he was truly committed. Then he meets someone that challenges him. Then boom, marriage. Boom, he's doing everything for her that he wouldn't do for the other woman. You think being challenged in a relationship is a key to knowing you found the one? Don't waste your time if they're not willing to commit. It's tough, but it's true. If someone really wants to be with you, they'll show it. Have any of you experienced this? Please share your thoughts and drop those comments. Let's get this conversation started. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, follow. You know what to do. Let's go.
Yo, the truth is, most men settle. Most men settle. Most men do not get the woman that they actually want. And that's my opinion, because when I'm around men, right, they could be married in a long-time relationship. Every time they're looking at a woman that they're like, oh my gosh, it's always a woman that looks nothing like the woman that he's with. It's always a completely different look. And it just goes to show, if they had things their way, they would be with someone like that. But they got someone like this and they settle because they like, well, look, this woman wants me. She does everything that, she does everything. She's a good partner. So I'm going to just stay with her. But deep down inside, if they had it their way, they would be with the women that they're fantasizing about. And that's just being honest. Think about it. Most of the men that are successful now and rich and famous and all that, they are not with the women they had when they were not as rich and successful. Now, it happens sometimes, but most of the time, these guys end up being with a completely different woman. It just goes to show, let's just say, if they continue to live that regular life, they probably will still be with that same woman. But due to the fact they came up, got more money, more options, they're not with that woman no more. You know why? Because the women that they fantasized about, they can actually get now. And they can get more than just that one they're fantasizing about, or that one that they can have a whole bunch of them. And that's why I say, man, like, it's just very rare that you go see a man that's actually with the woman he wants. Because if that was the woman he really wanted, he's not going to always cheat on her. He's not going to always be looking at all these different women and ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. If he was with the woman he really wanted, he'll be completely satisfied. Now, some of you will say, that's not true, because dudes, they still be cheating with ugly. Because when it comes to the freakiness, dudes don't care. They'll sleep with anything that's somewhat decent looking. I'm talking about like actually wanting to commit and just be with this woman and be crazy about this one woman. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about dudes who just cheat. I'm talking about dudes who be fantasizing about women that they actually want to be with, like, and just have to themselves. It's always a woman that's not the woman that they're with. It's rare that I see a dude being thirsty over a woman that looks like the woman he has. Never. It's always something completely different. I'm just saying, man.
I have been asked about 500 times to give women a list of green flags in men. If you're asking me that, you haven't quite understood my page. My page is about decentralizing men from your female brain. Stop making them such a priority that you forget that you have responsibilities to contribute to this world and this ummah. I'm done with the cultural, emotional and mental coercion, and most of you girls don't even realize it's because you've been hearing it since you were 3 years old. Shadi karni hai, shadi karni hai, go get married, gotta get married. It's not your only purpose on earth. There are no women, no Muslim women contributing to the big academic research done in this world. There's barely any Muslim women involved in politics. There are barely any Muslim women who are leading in humanitarian law. We're such a minority in active spaces in the world that when women are asking me, how do I pick a man? How well can I pick a man? How? Left, right, up and down, everything around a man. Get a life. Get a life. I'm up to my eyeballs in girls asking me, I'm not going to give you a green flag. Do you know why? Because when you are living an aligned life and you prioritize Allah, you will give off this energy that will attract a like-minded, decent human being. You won't need to look that much for red flags, because the red flag guys will look at you and be like, I'm not going over there. She will munch me in 3.5 seconds. I'm not going over there. But when you're like puppy dog eyes with your tongue out of your mouth like this, like a thirsty dog, I want a man. I want a man. How can I get a man? How can I secure a man? You're not asking, how can I have a career that contributes to this ummah, so when I die and I'm in my grave, I can answer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this is what I did with my life in your name. I don't want anyone in my comments saying, but getting married completes half your deen. No, wrong. Having a successful marriage and ensuring that your behavior is appropriate and constantly working towards the betterment in that marriage and for your partner over yourself is completing half your deen. Not the nikah ceremony. I don't know in what la land people have put it in your mind that you do the ceremony and half your deen is complete. Don't you think that's a red flag in itself? That you're like, oh, what's the quick and fastest way I can get maximum marks in this test? And you've even got the cheating you're doing by doing the nikah. You're even doing that wrong because you don't understand. It's actually the contribution and completion of that marriage that contributes to half your deen. Stop centralizing men and making them the be-all and end-all of your existence. Because it is natural when somebody is in that weak-minded place, they are easily manipulated. And you know women that have their heart's desires in wanting to shove it up a man's bum. Oh, please take me everywhere with you and own me and look after me so I don't have to do anything. Yes, women like safety. I don't deny that. Women love safety. Is there much safety out in the world for you to choose from? Answer that question yourself rather than asking me. Do you feel safe in this world as a woman? Most women will say no. So what do you need to do? It's security you need. And you first and foremost, before you go expecting it from another human being, need to provide that security for yourself. Otherwise, you're giving off very desperate pick-me vibes. Stop watching those freaking movies that have you fantasizing in bed at night. Stop listening to those songs that pierce your chest and remind you about every single bad experience that happened to you. Why are you not in the gym? Why are you not looking after your skin? Why are you not academically breaking the thresholds that were set up for us as women? We go on and on about how we hate it when people call us Muslim feminists, blah, blah. Islam is probably the most forward-thinking, promoting women's rights religion you can come across. We don't need feminism. We're already more empowered than the Western feminists, if you follow Islam properly. But no, we're not doing that. And they were like, I want love. Good luck, sister. Good luck. Because you can find the love of your life and the level of challenge and self-reflection and calm and patience you need to make that marriage work. You're not going to be feeling love. It's going to be a severe burning sensation of frustration that you need to constantly manage and deal with. So are you really mature enough for what you're asking me for? This is not a dating page. This is not, oh my God, how can I make sure that this girl gets her man? I don't care. Because I don't see it as a priority. I am fed up of watching these puppy dog, desperate women just dying to be attached to someone because you've been trained to be emotional slaves, just like I was. And I'm not saying, oh, there's an evil set of people out there. Yeah, maybe there is. But sometimes a thought process and a motivation is generational. It's cultural. And rather than figuring out what's cultural and what's Islam, we just take everybody's word for it and then wonder why we're left with the short straw. Does it make sense, ladies? No, it doesn't. So stop trying to be a man. Stop trying to figure out men. Stop trying to mold yourself into a shape where a man can choose you. And stop overly analyzing men in front of you for being a potential spouse. The right person will come in alignment with you when you are in the right place. And I'm truthful on my page. That's rare. It's extremely rare to find a man that's a green flag because he has to be accountable, have gone to therapy, dug out his deep and darkest issues and problems and faced them head on without you. Good luck finding that needle in a haystack. Mwah.
Can I explain why a man would suddenly tell you that the marriage just isn't for him anymore, and then he gets mad at you for walking away? So here's the thing, okay? Everything for a man is on a timeline. You got to remember, they have got to have order, okay? Now, I'm going to link all this back together for you real quick. If a man tells you directly that the marriage or the relationship is over for him and he doesn't want to be there, that man more than likely has already mentally moved on, and he's already trying to invest in someone else. He has somebody else on his mind. If a man indirectly tells you that he doesn't want to be in the marriage anymore through actions, he's trying to drive you insane. He's trying to drive you crazy. You are trying to sit there and question everything. You can't make sense of anything that he's telling you. This man isn't even who you married. This man is no longer even the shadow of who you committed to. Why? Because he wants to be the victim. You want to know why he's mad when you walk away? It's because that does not fit into his timeline. Because if you walk away, he can no longer build his case to where you're the villain. He wants you to go absolutely insane. He wants you to think that you're crazy. He wants you to drive yourself crazy so that you leave first, or you can tell him to get out. Then he's preserved his public image that everybody thinks so highly of, and he can play that card on to the next woman. See, I told you, my wife kicked me out. My wife, she didn't want to be married anymore. My wife took my kids. That's a real big one if you ever hear somebody say that. The bitterness comes from him trying to be the victim. It has nothing to do with the kids. Most of these men aren't even upset that they don't have to sit there with their kids. I'm just going to be honest with you. I hear guys all the time say, oh, well, you know, I've got every other weekend and I've got this, and then something comes up and they always want to be the public dad of the year, but behind the scenes, they're not. They're trying to play the victim card, right? You took his kids. That is a load of crap. Let me tell you, load of crap. But that's why he's mad for you walking away. It's all about public image, because if he doesn't have the public image and you're sitting there smearing his name in the mud, he's going to have an even harder time finding someone else to manipulate.
Nothing will stop a man from being with the woman he wants to. His own wife ain't going to stop him from being with the woman he want to be with.
That's real.
A man will leave his whole family to go be with the woman he really want to be with. So all them excuses he making, it's just excuses. He, like she said, he don't want a relationship with you because I am a man. Nothing will stop a man from being with the woman he wants to be with, not even his kids and his wife.
Like this man said, and it's absolutely true, men have walked away from wives,
walked away from children. Men have walked away from royalty. Y'all know the whole story with Prince Harry. Walked away from it all for the woman that they love. Want to hear that if he leaves her, she'll take half, or she won't let him see his kids? There's a man out there who would walk away from it all for the woman that he claims that he loves. Some of these men, they love these excuses, and as long as you let that be an excuse, he'll use it. As if men don't get divorced for their mistress every day. As if men don't leave their baby mama every day. As if men don't move out of the home he shares with his girlfriend and has no place to stay, but he loves the new girl. Like, men are doing it every single day. There is no reason why in this day and age you guys can't be together. If he's a grown man that truly loves you, whatever it takes to be with you, that man's gonna make it happen.
He was a pilot and I was an air hostess, and it was the late 1990s. He was Scottish Sikh and I'm a Gujarati. I was in my late 20s and he was in his mid 20s. By now, most of our friends are beginning to get married. We were dating probably for about 3 years in total. During that time, he always avoided conversations around commitment, like marriage. Around the same time, I was reading a book called He's Just Not That Into You. Geez, everything in that book was so true, because he's just not that into you. It really is as simple as that. Whenever he spoke about his future, it never involved me, ever. Eventually, I came to the realization that I was not part of his future. That was a hard pill to swallow, especially when it's someone that you really wanted to be with. But I had no choice but to call it off. In all honesty, he probably never expected me to end the relationship. I don't think he thought that I had the balls to do it. So when I did it, it came as a complete shock to him. And then a few weeks later, he asked me to marry him. And I said no. I said no because, quite frankly, I didn't want to be sitting there on my wedding day wondering whether he wanted me to marry him because it's what I wanted or whether it's what he wanted. So, ladies, the moral of the story is, if he's not willing to commit to you, he's just not that into you. And it is really, really hard to accept that when it's somebody that you really want to spend the rest of your life with. But sometimes being on your own, actually every time being on your own, is always better than being with someone who doesn't want to be with you. One of the biggest life lessons that you can adopt, especially as a woman, is to be absolutely true to yourself. Be absolutely honest in any given circumstances. Ask yourself, is this really what you want? Is this really what you deserve? And if it's not what you deserve, walk away.
First of all, don't have no more babies.
Oh, I'm not. I'm
you
done.
understand that? No more babies. Number two, don't never beg a man to love you. Never, ever beg a man to love you. He hasn't earned your love. He hasn't earned your body. So don't give it to him. Always be a grown woman about this thing. And if he's walking down the street tomorrow with 19 naked women, what you ought to do is say, hey, brother, how you doing? And keep it moving, because it's no longer of importance to you. You'll teach your daughter to get nothing from a dude because that's what you're giving her mother. Now, you can be a man who does the right thing. Now, if you are not about her, if you don't want to love her and be with her, I can't make you do that. And you can't be made to love somebody you don't love. But don't confuse her. Don't have sex with her. Don't tell her, if I got more sex, I would do better. Because we'll take any little breath of maybe that you give us and we'll run with it to a story of love and happily ever after. If that's not what you can provide, you've got to make sure not to only distance yourself when it's convenient, but do it when it's inconvenient as well.
Ladies, men's primary focus is not relationships. They are biologically selfish. And they can come in the comments here and deny it until they're blue in the face. But this is the facts. And the quicker you realize this as a woman, the happier you will be in this life. Once you realize that a man does not give an F about you, you will be happier as a woman. When you start to think this way, you will naturally prioritize yourself. And that is something that as women we should have done many years ago. We should have done centuries ago. And I don't just mean being out here for survival. No. I mean really decentering men and centering ourselves. Men's primary focus is not relationships. It's career, status, and personal goals. Where's relationships in that? Doesn't exist. Because men don't center their lives around relationships. In fact, they see relationships as just like an addition, as something that's just kind of there, lingering. They don't go out seeking relationships. They go out seeking pleasure. Oh yeah. And we're gonna trigger some men today because they're not gonna like that. Oh no, we care about love. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. And the younger you realize this as a girl as well, by the way, the happier you will be. Because ladies, men do not give an F about you, and they never will. Because they are not wired to care about you. They are wired to feel fulfillment through doing things like providing and protecting. They get a hit of dopamine from doing those things. So when they take care of you and they do these manly things that they are supposed to do, that are their duties, they get a hit of dopamine, the happy hormones. They feel good. That's it. That's as far as it goes with a man. He's never going to feel anything else for you. He's not going to feel that undenying love that you've been taught in the fairy tales, that we've been taught as young girls growing up, that, you know, there's Prince Charming. There was nothing charming about Prince Charming. And all the princesses, they were silenced. They had to sacrifice things in order to be princesses. They were controlled. They were watched. The fairy tales really aren't fairy tales. And the quicker you realize this, the happier you will be in life. And you will stop putting your life on pause and wasting all your good years. When men don't care about you, they don't care about you. They don't. They've showed you consistently, time after time, that they don't care about you. They don't care about women. Men only respect other men. When has a man ever really valued your opinion? I'll wait. When has a man ever valued your opinion? Oh, but if his friend said the same thing to him that you said to him, he would take his friend's advice. He would listen to his friend. He would value his friend's view above yours. But yet you still want to sit here and be like, oh, no, like my man like really cares about me and he really listens to me and he really, you know, like listens to what I've got to say and he cares about what I have to say. Does he? Does he? Or is he just doing it because he feels like he has to and he wants a happy life? Ladies, wake up and smell the coffee. Men do not give an F about you and they never will. And I'm saying that not to be horrible and not to be mean. And I have been targeted on here. I get hateful DMs by these triggered men. But you know what? I don't care. I continue to post this content and I continue to send out this message because this is a safe space for women to finally find their voice and find their power.
Women are pressured and told to marry when they're young because when women get older, they learn more about men. And the more that a woman knows about a man, the more she learns about men, the less likely it is that she's going to want to be with a man. Why do you think there's so much social pressure on women for marrying at a very early age? That's because the moment that women get older and start realizing how a lot of men are, I'm not saying all men, but the moment that they realize how a lot of men think, they're not going to want to be with one. And this is exactly why as soon as a woman gets into her 30s, all of a sudden people start asking her, why are you not married yet? Why haven't you started a family? You're in your 30s. You should have married early. Marry early. Marry while you're young. Marry while you have your youth. Marry while you're beautiful. Because when you're in your 30s, no one's going to want you. This comes from both men and women, exponentially more from men than it does from women, but we hear it on both ends. You've heard the questions from your aunts, your uncles, other family members. You're 30, you're 31, you're 32, you haven't started a family, you haven't found a husband yet, your clock is ticking, your beauty is running out. The thing is, women who are in their 30s and are single, it's because they're aware of how things are. They're aware of how men are. And they're not just gonna settle because of familial or social pressure. They are not gonna settle just because. And that's good. Because the moment you settle for somebody because you start feeling some pressure from motherfuckers telling you and asking you about a family and shit, you fucked up. You're settling because of other people's pressure, not because you really want to. And this is one of the reasons for why a lot of men who see a woman in her 30s and single think she's a red flag, because they can't manipulate her, they can't control her, they can't do whatever it is that they want with her, they can't play mind games on her. This woman in her 30s and single has mastered the art of solitude. She's okay with being alone, and a lot of men don't like that because they want to feel needed, which is why they go for the younger women to try to brainwash them and indoctrinate them into thinking they have to marry early on, because when they marry older, no one's going to want them. Think about that. Women are pressured to marry very early on because the more they learn about men, the less they want to be with one. Enjoy your youth and enjoy your beauty. Do not let no motherfucker rob you of your youth and your beauty, and do not let anybody pressure you into thinking you have to be married because you're a certain age. Live your life and enjoy it unapologetically.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section. I want to hear your advices, your experiences, your tips. Drop them all in the conversation, okay? And I drop hot topic contents like this every day. So it's best you hit the subscribe button and turn on notification so that you will not miss any of these conversations. Feel free to share this post with people whom you like to be part of this conversation, and give this video a very big thumbs up if you benefited from it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow with another interesting video.